crossover every day. Crossover will build your body and brain.
Three-point shooting late tonight. I expect him to break loose.
Speaking of breaking, just turn the corner here and away into the clear with the killer crossover.
The crossover, a move based on quickness and fakery, is a lethal weapon used by the game's best ball handlers. Those who master it have been called ankle breakers for their ability to send defenders falling in embarrassment.
They never started to cross over. That burner come off their
Dwayne Wade has a deadly crossover. He explains his technique and the players who inspired him.
First of all, the crossover is effective because it gives you space. What I'm doing mostly is I'm coming at a guy and I'm acting like I'm going one direction. So my body is going forward and with a step, but then I'm bringing it back real quick. And once I bring it back, that gives me the second to be able to go into my next move. Well, who inspired me? I mean, I would have to say probably Allen Iverson probably inspired me growing up because, you know, it was a time, it was more legal then to do some of the things he was doing, but it was a time when he came out with the hang crossover.
When he first came to the league, he was doing that crossover, and what happened, the refs were starting to call carry.
I just remember being able to do it all of the time, and then once it got that effective, then that's when it started getting called a lot.
It was cool. You know, he had commercials about it, so he kind of broke it down so you can see the breakdown of how to do the crossover. For a guy to be that small, to use his crossover to get airspace, to get up into his jump shot over bigger defenders. At the time, I was very small, so not only was it cool to do, it also was something that I can use in my game. I remember the one that he crossed Michael Jordan over twice. He crossed him over this way and he crossed him over the other way and he hit the jump shot. So that also made it cool for everyone to want to do.
I used to always tell my friends, you know, when I get on that stage, I'm going to try my move on the best. And I never forget the play. You know, I never forget coming off the screen and him switching and Phil Jackson hollering his name, telling him to, you know, switch out on me. And then I gave him the first little one, and I seen that, you know, he was biting on it. And then I hit him with the second one and made the shot. But the craziest thing about it is I hit him with my best move, and he still almost blocked it. That was so crazy about it. That just let you know how great of a defensive player that he was. I first learned the crossover at Georgetown. I had a teammate, Dean Barry, and man, I had to guard him at practice. He was a walk-on player. He used to hit me with it all the time, every day. And, you know, at some point, my ego, I'm not going to ask this guy how to teach me how to do it. But at some point, I was like, man, the move is so vicious, I got to ask him.
The first time the crossover came was, you know, it came in stages. I think seeing John Stockton, I would drop it. Seeing, you know, Kenny Anderson, I would give it a little shoulder action and change directions. Seeing Tim Hardaway, I realized I need to get a little lower to the ground. Yeah, who has a better crossover, Dean Barry or Allen Iverson? Yeah, you ask Allen, he'll probably say him. But, you know, the student can never beat the teacher.
I have the best crossover by far, ever. Because I put it on that platform, on the biggest stage ever.
Tim Hardaway has the best crossover. AI has the easier one to do. But Tim Hardaway's is still to this day is hard. But it was probably the most effective crossover. But you don't see a lot of guys doing it because a lot of guys can't do it. I mean, Tim Hardaway used to come at people, 100 miles an hour and change directions 2 ways. He'll go bing, bing real fast. And that's hard for a lot of people to do. So Tim Hardaway is probably the toughest.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be some guy that come along that's going to learn it and get it better than I got it. And his is going to be better than mine. Hopefully it's my son.
They never started to cross over. That burner